Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. Just another quick video for today. I've just come in, got soaking wet, been at the skip getting rid of sort of Christmas trees, chopped up Christmas trees this morning and got rid of a load of rubbish. Anyway, hope you enjoyed Ray's video earlier on Rabbi Matondo. But this is a bit of a roundup on various issues today, and the first thing we're going to talk about is the Burton game. Tomorrow night, and there's been lots of speculation about these kids that are supposedly going to be in the actual team and etc etc. So what we thought is we'd wait until sort of Pep's press conference came out, see if we could learn a little bit more rather than just speculating. And there's been rumours across lots of social media outlets that the likes of Carlo Poveda, Felix Nemecha, Lucas's brother, also Taylor Richards, Ike Pozo, and also Luke Bolton could potentially be involved within the actual squad, and obviously Muric, Foden, etc etc. So yeah, but listening to Pep and his press conference earlier, he's actually come out and he's basically said that Muric will start, the KDB will start, so will Phil Foden, and he also mentioned the fact that he believes that players in the first team squad that need minutes, who have not had a lot of game time lately, will also feature as well. So it sounds like he's going to put out a pretty strong squad. So reading into it, at first I think we all thought that we would have played the majority of the EDS squad, but obviously with tonight's game against Sunderland in the Checker Trade Trophy, that's not going to be the case. So it seems that he's going to take quite a few kids with him. I think the majority of those will be on the bench, but I think some will definitely start. But I think it'll be another quite a strong squad. We saw the likes of Gabby at the weekend didn't get any game time. We saw Gundogan get a number of minutes. We saw the likes of Mahrez not even on the bench. So we've got other players coming in, the likes of Zinchenko. There's going to be a bit of a debate whether Kyle Walker gets more minutes tomorrow night, but I don't think he will. But we've got the likes of Eric Garcia. Otamendi wasn't even featured against Huddersfield, so he's in contention. Gundogan needing more minutes. Riyad Mahrez, Gabi Jesus, and Phil Foden's definitely going to start along with KDB. So it's going to be interesting what the team is going to be. But this is just my guess, and that's all it is, because we don't know. We have no idea. Pep clearly said that he's not going to give away his team, but he did hint that it's going to be a very strong team with some kids playing in there. So anyway, I'm going to just talk you through my guess, because that's what it is. It's a guess. I don't care what anyone tells you. It's a guess until we hear exactly who is going to be playing tomorrow night. So here you go. This is my team, guessing team for tomorrow night. So as you can see, Muric, Pep said that he's going to definitely play. I'm going to go for Otamendi and Eric Garcia as centre-backs. Zinchenko, if fit, I think will come in at left-back, but there's also an option for Benjamin Mendy, which he did say he's back in training, he will travel. Wasn't very confident whether he'd start, but Ben Mendy is an option there. And I'm going to go for Luke Bolton, playing at right back. He's come back from that injury, he's now fit, firing, ready to go, and I think he's going to be an integral part of the team, hopefully, next season. And I'm going to put Gundogan in there. It's the one position where you don't want to play some young kid, and it's an important position, and I think Gundogan can comfortably sit there relaxed in that sort of holding midfield particular role. We know, Pep said that KDB and Foden will definitely play, so I'm going to play KDB on the right, Foden on the left in his normal position. And then up front, I'm actually going to think that with all his goals lately, Gabi Jesus is going to start. He's going to want to get on that score sheet. He's going to want to keep ahead of Sergio. And so I'm going to put him in there. Riyad Mahrez, we're still yet not to know the definitive reason why he wasn't even in the squad. But if fit, they're not ill, then I think Mahrez will definitely play and probably play on the right-hand side. And then it's another position up for the kids. And I'm going to toss up. I couldn't toss up between Pozo and Poveda. And he did say, Pep, that one player is going to potentially play slightly out of position where they normally play. So I'm going to go for one of these two kids to play out wide on the left, a position that potentially would have been taken up by Brahim Diaz, but he's gone. So yeah, that's my potential starting 11, guys. And what do you think? Should we include the likes of Taylor Richards, apologies, or the likes of Felix Nemecha? I don't doubt they'll be on the bench. Let me just turn my phone off. I don't doubt that they're going to be on the bench, and we'll definitely get game time. And I think it'll be. You don't then. Sorry. Yes. I think it'll be a suck it and see, and if we get a couple of goals, things like that, or it's level at half-time, I think we'll see 3 subs probably immediately and see some more game time from the kids that are going to be on the bench, and possibly even like 20 minutes from Ben Mendy. So, yeah, give us your thoughts below the video tomorrow night, and yeah, that's part 1. We're going to move on to part 2 shortly, and we're going to talk about some of the other news that's around in the press today. So the next bit of news in part 2, and this is on Pablo Maffeo, a kid who has wonderful potential, and most City fans really thought that he would break into this City team, or at least get into the squad. But as we know, he went on loan to Girona, and there was that famous night where he man-marked Lionel Messi, and Messi just congratulated him and thought he was wonderful. But we know he went on to Stuttgart, got sold for €10 million, 8.6 million pounds sterling. Well, it seems that Stuttgart look like they're going to sell him, and their manager has basically come out, and I'm just going to, if I can find his comments, but basically said, if I'm honest, he doesn't do enough in my opinion. He said, I criticise his willingness to perform, which that's pretty damning, and that says, you know, was Maffeo really happy at Stuttgart being sold there? Because they're damning comments made by the coach, Vincier at Stuttgart. So it looks like, yeah, it's a real shame that it's not worked out for Pablo Maffeo, but I'm sure with his talent, and, you know, he's only young still, and, you know, sometimes kids' heads go off in different directions, and when he gets back and gets his head screwed back on again, there's no doubt in his talent. He's a wonderful talent, and yeah, you know what, I'd have him back, put him into the summer camp and pre-season camp, and see what he does, because, you know, anybody who can man-mark Lionel Messi, and Messi makes comments about it, has to be pretty special, certainly at somebody at that age. But we'll wish Pablo Maffeo all the best, and we'll see where that takes us. Part 3, and that basically is about our Muric, and there's rumours are today that Muric, Manchester City are going to treble Muric's wages, which he's played backup since Bravo's injury to Ederson, and we'll see him no doubt tomorrow night against Burton and playing in these cup competitions. And yeah, I think Pep said in his presser, he's a beast, he's massive, he's, you know, no fear and everything else, and he's good with his feet. But I think the rumours were at 20 years of age he was on £3,000 a week, which is nothing, it's peanuts compared to some of the contracts that kids sign this day and age at 18 years of age. I mean, 30, look at Foden's excuse me, Foden's contract. So trebling it to what, to £9,000 a week? I'm not sure about that. I think he's possibly going to be given a contract for much more. But anyway, it looks like we're going to sign Muric on a longer term contract and give him more money, which he deserves if he's been the understudy to Ederson. Let's imagine if Ederson was suddenly in February, let's say, gets a bad injury, then Muric is going to have to step up, and that means playing in likes of the Champions League, the FA Cup, the Premier League, etc. So he deserves a lot more than that. But yeah, more news on our Muric. And finally, part 4, and this is just some news that Pep sort of declined to comment on in his presser earlier this afternoon, and that was with regards to the fact that a report was published in one of the media paper outlets today that that Man City, Pep, his team, etc., have put together a dossier on Raheem Sterling, and the fact that this is the horrendous decision that was made by Andre Marina and his assistant referee at the weekend for the penalty where Congolo absolutely took him out. I mean, there was no doubt about it. And Pep questioning internally again, you know, why are we not getting this, especially when we see the likes of Salah getting the most ridiculous penalties that you've ever seen, and jumping around and throwing his arms up in the air, and you know, pretty much a second or two after he's actually been kicked. And the fact that over the last year, 3 or 4 occasions now, Sterling's had absolutely stonewall penalties, but they've not been given. And so I think what's happening is City are going to speak to Mike Riley and speak to him and basically say, look, what's going on here? Is this something that is the fact that referees this day and age, this year in particular, just degraded their performances, has gone down so much, it's like awful. Or is there something more sinister? Because you know, some have come out, the media have come out and have said in the past, Sterling diving, you only have to look at the Sun headlines when Sterling stubbed his toe, fell over, didn't actually, you know, put his arms in the air and claim a penalty, but got a penalty at the end of the day. And the headlines were all sort of like, cheat this and cheat that and embarrassing this, and no headlines about Salah and his ridiculous diving who gets penalties. So are these headlines sort of influencing some of the referees' decisions? And I think it's a good thing, because we've already in the past spoke to Mike Riley about it, and I think City have also, about the tackles last season that were happening on players and things like that. And let's face it, we've had a few decisions whereby we could have had red cards and we haven't. But then there's no harm in planting the seed in referees' minds to basically say, look, you know, we've had 3-4 decisions this year against one player, Raheem Sterling, where there were clear penalties and nothing was given. Now, is there an agenda? Because that seed is planted then, and any referee then that, you know, let's face it, human beings think, you know, was it, wasn't it? I better off give it as a penalty, and I'll take the consequences afterwards. Because let's face it, none of the referees that have given the Salah penalties of late, which have all been dives, have got any abuse off anyone. So I think it's a good tactic by City. I think it's just raising it and basically saying we're on this, and we are basically a little bit concerned that there may be an agenda or something more sinister, and we'd like your comments as to why these penalties have not been given. So well done to the City coaching staff and the board for doing that, and we'll see. Maybe it'll go against us, maybe it won't, but there's no harm raising the same sort of comments that Man City fans do week in, week out when we see these decisions going against us, and yet we see, you know, the Liverpool loving, and they're getting penalties where they are the most ridiculous dives you've ever seen in your life. And yeah, so anyway guys, this is just a massive roundup excuse me, of today and the Burton game tomorrow. Give us your thoughts below the video. Don't forget, subscribe, click notification. We're putting out videos every single day. Yeah, if you've got any questions, comment below the video, let us know. We will be doing a live chat. It's just that I've got to go overseas tomorrow, and I'll be away for 2 days and won't be back. So we were going to do it on Friday night, but then I got caught up with some videos and podcasts and things. But we'll definitely do something, I promise you. Give us comments below what you want us to talk about and what would be a preferred time, and we'll get it done for you Blues. But anyway, Sandy from Man City Fan TV, take care, and we'll see you soon.